Welcome to Jurassic Park. I love this movie.
I like this movie too, but probably for different reasons than you, because you're a boy.
These dinosaurs. They're
I mean,
cool and they're dead. And then they're alive, and then they're going to eat you.
Okay.
And you're terrified, but then you're excited.
All right.
It's very exciting.
Dinos are cool.
They are cool. Iconic, defining, one of Spielberg's absolute bests. So this year is the 50th anniversary of Jaws, which was the birth of the modern blockbuster.
What does blockbuster mean to those who don't know?
Okay, so prior to 1975,
right.
the only real franchise that we had was the James Bond franchise.
All right.
So you could know what you were expecting after the first couple, and then it would be an event movie to go to. But it was still kind of isolated to that particular type of movie. There was no movie that really made ridiculous amount of money and stayed in theaters for, I'm talking, over a year, months on end.
I can't even imagine that now.
These days, you're lucky if a movie sticks around for a month.
Yeah.
But back then, in 1975, when Jaws came out, it was the first modern blockbuster. It made so much money so quickly and became a cultural phenomenon and basically rejuvenated Hollywood. Because
so what does that have to do with the word blockbuster?
It has busted the block that kept movies from being a cultural phenomenon.
Oh.
And it made a crap ton of money because people wanted to see it. And they didn't just want to see it. They wanted to see it over and over and over again. All right. And Spielberg would produce movies like The Goonies. He wound up being the director of Jurassic Park, which is a novel by Michael Crichton, and it was a best-selling novel and then became this huge blockbuster, which was such a cultural phenomenon. We are now on the verge of seeing the 7th Jurassic Park movie. Oh, I'm sorry, Jurassic World now, because, we're out of the park.
There was one thing that we were talking about during the movie that really frustrated you, because you saw the first movie when it first came out.
Yes.
Which was the
Barbasol can.
Barbasol can.
Shaving cream.
The shaving cream.
Never paid off.
They never used it for any of the remakes, and it was a really huge missed opportunity.
You could sell that thing. I don't know why they don't have a toy that you could open up and it goes shunk, and then you could put little dino DNAs in it. I don't know. They could be like
someone could play scientist.
Yes. It's so much fun.
And even though they made it a point in the movie that all of the merch was kind of silly, looking back on it, like these super terrifying dinosaurs are out after them trying to kill them, and they're just like, oh, look, marketable plushie. And as much as they were making a point about that, their merch was actually fun.
Yes.
We were looking at the How to Train Your Dragon merch, and I was just like, what is this?
Hopefully that's better at the theme park, but
yeah,
man, the sad, sorry state of merch just Ooh, this definitely had the branding. Okay, that logo alone just nailed it. Yes, you've got the DVD, the making of it in 3D later.
He prepared all these.
You've got the reissue. You've got
the issue.
The 4K.
Oh my god.
The first soundtrack. The collector's edition soundtrack. Super highfalutin, marvelous, wonderful collection soundtrack. And the making of. Look at that logo. It's just perfect.
Yeah, it is pretty darn perfect.
It's pretty awesome. Got the storyboards here.
I love storyboards. It's like watching a comic.
Smiling profile picture. Post-production. Yes. Don't break the spine.
And what is this?
Oh, that is a signed card by the director of photography of Jurassic Park, Dean Cundy.
We made a video about how we met him.
And he's super cool. I got to talk with him about a shot that I want to do in my movie. He was telling me how to do that. And then he said, well, for example, when I was shooting Jurassic Park, and I'm like, uh-huh. He made a point to say, you make these movies for the audience. They're the ones who are paying for it. You should probably make it for them. The thing I marveled about it is the contrasts. And I'm not talking about character yet. I'm not talking about screenplay yet or juxtaposition of ideas. I'm talking about color-rich contrast. The colors don't pop, but they're vibrant. But there's a lot of shadows and there's a lot of definition to how it's shot. Not everything's like high-key lighting. There's a lot of angles where it's completely dark except for the backlight. And then you'll have someone have a flashlight and they're peeking around, but then you can see their face a little bit, but everything else is really dark. There's a great shot in there where Alan Grant, played by Sam Neill, he's looking and about to say something, and his half of his face is completely dark, and then he just moves in slightly, and there's just enough rim for his eye, and then he says the last thing, and it's just like they just
holds your attention.
All the shots are so deliberate and they're so iconic. The staging of it is, I'm gonna nerd. I'm just gonna nerd. The staging of it is where you'll start with a character. So let's say they go to Tim, the little boy. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he's down on the floor, and then we pull back a little bit, and Lexi shows up, and then she's in there, and then we pull back even more, and then Alan Grant is there. And it's all one movement, but everybody kind of moves into the frame exactly where they're supposed to be. The camera reveals everything in this movie. It's part of the story. You move up and you see what people are looking at. You move down, you move through it's just so good. There's so many iconic shots. The raptor in the circular window, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I just love that. Now, prior to this, there was a couple movies that played with digital effects, right? Mm-hmm. But this was the first movie that sold it, that you could have a completely CGI character in it and have it be photorealistic and believable. And my God, 32 years later,
it still holds up.
It still holds up. Like, CG actually has kind of gotten worse.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, some CG artists still look back on Jurassic Park and the movements, specifically on the long-necked dinosaur.
Yeah.
That there hasn't been a more accurate movement of those creatures since.
Yeah, and you want to know why? Is because the people who worked on it, Dennis Muren, Stan Winston, and Phil Tippett, they all worked with live action models before, physical things. And so they brought that earned experience into the filmmaking for this. So when they were making digital creatures, they knew what actual physical movements would look like. They had weight, they had depth.
Yeah, the body shaked a little.
It looked like they were there. They just brought that, and it kind of reminds me of the line from Ian Malcolm, who is Jeff Goldblum's character. You know, he says, you didn't have any discipline to attain it. He was saying, well, you just found this and you took the next step. You didn't actually work toward having it, so you don't respect it. Whereas these guys would pour their heart and soul into making sure that it was mechanically and photorealistic first. It made sense, and then you moved it, and then you animated it, and then they just breathed life into this digital dinosaur, and that won over Steven Spielberg when he saw the Gallimimuses coming over, and then he saw the T-Rex, the first wireframe of it. You know, he was like, this can work. The digital effects stuff was pioneered in the movie The Abyss, one of my favorite movies of all time. But that had what's called the pseudopod or something like that. It was just like this water tentacle that came in. But it was photorealistic at the time. I mean, obviously you can watch it now and be like, wah. But they just did such a good job. Okay, I'm going to need a breath from nerding, so go.
All right. I also like dinosaurs.
Yes.
But in a very different way. I like to learn about things that used to be alive, whether it be dinosaurs or people. And one of the things, theories on how dinosaurs sound. And they talked about Jurassic Park a lot because, obviously, Jurassic Park. And they talked about how they mixed a whole bunch of different sounds together in order to create the T-Rex sounds that they made. Like, they mixed a tiger, they mixed an elephant, they mixed a whole bunch of different stuff. And it was just to make the thing sound terrifying.
Oh, yeah.
And when they showed what the T-Rex might have actually sounded like, I can't tell what's more terrifying.
There's something so piercing about the T-Rex's roar.
Yeah.
It sounds like a blowhorn from like a ship or something. Like, I remember the first time hearing that, being in the theater, and it just penetrated your soul. Like, you were just like, I mean, it was absolutely terrifying. The sound design in this is so good. It is. I first saw this. Well, when did I first see this? It was my movie ticket.
Oh.
Jurassic Park, 6/11/93, June 11th, 1993.
Ooh.
And then I saw it again on the 12th.
And again.
And then I saw it again on July 21st. And then I saw it again later. Yeah, I saw it a lot. Oh, so
we
good.
also had one thing. When did you pick this up, by the way?
When did I pick what up?
That.
Today I was scouting out where we're going to go see the new Jurassic movie. And everybody's got their own popcorn bucket, but this one is the best one.
This has to be the best one.
It's got a dinosaur in it.
Because this is cool.
And it's got a little, you get the light. Ooh. And then you can get your drink, which is also a walkie-talkie. And you can drink out of it. Yeah. Anyway, yes, I couldn't help it. I had to nerd. Like, it's just.
It looks cool.
It's so cool. It's so cool. So it starts out iconically with them capturing a raptor and keeping it in the cage. We don't really see it except for the
Shoot-ha!
Shoot-ha! Yes, the
Shoot-ha!
Shoot-ha! But everything about it is iconic. You know, It's got the Spielberg push in, the key lighting from the back, and
the only reason that it's able to be made fun of is because it's so iconic.
Yes. All hell breaks loose.
Pretty much, yes.
What was interesting, like looking back on it, you know, because it's been over 30 years now, which... Anyway,
no, it wasn't.
Is kind of how relevant it is to today. So everything that they were talking about with bioengineering and genetic manipulation kind of reminded me of where we are at with AI right now. Mm-hmm. Because they were saying, you think you have control over this, but it's all an illusion. Ian Malcolm was saying, your scientists, before you even knew what you had, you packaged it and you boxed it and you mailed it and you sold it, and your scientists...
You thought about all the ways that you could, but you didn't think whether or not you should or something like that. Yeah. I
mean, he's oddly enough the moral conscience of the entire movie. The other techno nerd things was Lexi gets into the car and she sees a video screen and she says, "Ooh, an interactive CD-ROM," which is like now ancient technology. But what was it? It was a touch screen.
Can you imagine a younger kid watching the movie and not even blinking an eye at that scene because they don't know that was like revolutionary back then?
And then they also had driverless vehicles. And should you trust it? No. The other wonderful thing about this, which kind of gets passed over because, you know, you've got cool dinosaurs and you've got great shots and beautiful music, is the family element to it. Because Alan Grant is dating Ms. Sattler. She is wanting to have kids, and he is bristling at the idea. He says they smell. But eventually, there's a great moment, and it's the first moment of what I consider to be real human connection. The lawyer gets scared to death by the T-Rex, which is totally understandable, but he takes off, leaving the kids to fend for themselves with a giant monster coming to eat them. A whole bunch of crazy crap happens, and they eventually get down the ravine. Alexi's freaking out. All she kept saying is, "He loves us! He loves us!" And Alan Grant just comes up to her and says,
"But that's not what I'm gonna do."
And that confidence and that care it settled her heart. It showed that he really was a man. He had a father figure about him. And I don't know why I'm crying, but it's just a very universal sentiment. I'm a man. I am a father figure. I am going to protect you. And that is comforting. And that is beautiful. And that is wonderful. And it should be celebrated. And so he goes to rescue Tim. And then they all, fall asleep together in a tree while they're leaning up against him. And he has shown his true strength. And they are attracted to that protective nature. And that is attractive to his seeming bride-to-be, because it's showing her that he's got that capacity within him. He's not just someone who likes dinosaurs or hates computers. He's a real man, and it's a wonderful thing to uphold, and I just love that about that movie. That one scene just really, it grounds it.
I was thinking about how he was kind of putting aside his own obvious fears of the moment, like giant creatures trying to eat you, and he just said, "I'll stay up all night."
Yeah.
He said that with enough confidence that they were able to sleep.
Because they were going to be taken care of.
And I'm sure that he meant it, but he did fall asleep.
But that, I think, is an overlooked moment. All right, so let's talk about the fun stuff.
What I noticed was that it, kept the tension even after you got scared with this movie. It wasn't just, well, now scary stuff is happening, I guess. But no, with this one, it was just like, oh no. It wasn't just jump, boom, you're scared. It was, okay, but now you have to fight for yourself.
Right. I maintain that Spielberg's one of my favorite horror directors. You wouldn't think so, but Jaws is a horror movie, and I swear to God, I don't know why that movie's PG. I mean, there's lots of blood. Lots of blood. But it's rated PG, so bring the kids.
The missing goat.
But the scares are just so great.
One thing that I noticed was well, obviously you're my dad, so I've hung out with you and this movie for a very long time, and so I've grown up with looking at all of the cinema stuff of it, but it wasn't until I saw it again this time that I realized, oh yeah, this is actually scary.
It is. It's genuinely terrifying.
Like we have like the push-up chairs where you can like sit your feet up, and my legs were just stiff pretty much the whole time.
And he would do it with something as simple as parallel action. So they're climbing the electrified fence, and it's scary enough for the kids to go up the fence and try to get down without falling and all the rest of that. But then at the very same time, Ellie is trying to get
turn on the fence,
turn the power on. And so as she's going on, they're going, and you've got this great moment where just like, oh,
like yes, go, but don't, but yes, go, but don't.
And then she's like, yes, I finally got it. And then the dinosaur comes out right behind her. When your mom saw that, oh my God, she just screamed her bloody murder. Then she pulled my jacket down over her head, and she's like, I hate this movie. I hate this movie. Why did you bring me to this movie? Why did you bring me to this movie? And I was cracking up because that's really funny. Oh, she hated this movie for such a long time. Even tonight, she would watch it up to a point, and then when stuff started, she's out.
When I went on my first date, we watched the Slender Man movie, and nobody knows what that one is because it was so terrible.
All right.
But we watched the movie, and he was just brick-armed. Like,
your date?
Yeah, he was just clinging for dear life to my arm,
like,
and then putting his face here, and I'm like, like I should be comforting you, but I can't. Nothing scary is actually happening on screen.
But it's that great crafting of the tension. It itself is a roller coaster ride. You are genuinely entranced, and you're sucked in. It's because the people behind this are storytellers. Steven Spielberg used to get a lot of flack for making these popcorn movies, but you know, they've all held up.
They
because
do.
He is a little kid at heart, and he's one of my inspirations. I don't want to be Steven Spielberg. I don't want to be another Steven Spielberg, but I'm so appreciative of him and his love for movies that he's made so many iconic films. They are eminently rewatchable because he is a master craftsman. I just think of how Spielberg would watch this and be like, you know, people are going to get such a kick out of this because he does. And he wants to give people that energy. He wants to give people that ride, and that's I have received it. And so I want to make stories that are that compelling so that people can't help but pay attention to it, and then get the thrill, the rush, and the joy out of it. It's what I love doing. It's what I want to keep doing, and what I want to do with you.
We did a video last time of the next development stage of our short film. Hopefully you could back us on that. That would be pretty cool. If you want to give us suggestions, that would be pretty cool too.
Yeah, comment below. We would love to hear what you have to say. All right, so please
like,
share,
and subscribe.
And then if you want exclusive content,
we do have a Patreon.
Yes, check out our Patreon. Thank you for watching, and we are going to see the
new one. Yeah.
Run!